Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever 2 and the first episode in the Dune Canyon series. This map is based on the height map of the planet Arrakis from the Dune series of novels, which is where the series gets its name. And the objective that we're going to be playing for this series is to build a mainline onto which every single passenger route and factory and goods producer will run. This should lend itself to some pretty epic length trains, because trains are going to be our main means of transport in this series, as there is no water at all. Zero. None. Not any. I'm also going to limit the amount of aircraft that I use in order to, firstly, avoid airports getting clogged up, but just as importantly, to make sure that the trains that we're using really are as profitable as possible. Now, I'm running on medium difficulty again, despite medium difficulty not being all that difficult in Transport Fever 2, largely because running on a map like this is going to be suitably expensive, and therefore I don't want to run out of money before I've completed the project. If you fancy playing along with this series, you can find a link to the save game in the description of this video. Right, that's the setup. Let's get on with it. So you've seen a quick fly through of the map and, well, it's incredibly Spartan and there's not a drop of water anywhere to be seen. Well, it's Arrakis after all, so water's pretty unlikely. There's also not a lot of vegetation. You've got an occasional bit of herbaceous gloriousness like this. But there isn't really any more to speak of than that. So the challenge, as laid out, is to hook up every single industry and run a mainline. Crazy idea, and perhaps regretting the map choice here. But yes, the idea will be to run a mainline probably down this side. Or maybe one on each side with occasional link-ups. Ooh, that would be delightful. But it should lend itself towards some really, really, really long trains that are packed to the gills with, well, just about everything. Or maybe they'll be packed to the gills with nothing. I honestly couldn't tell you. But it's going to be expensive, and due to the nature of the landscape, it's also going to be expensive. It's going to be challenging. So as much as Transport Fever 2 has made profitability pretty straightforward, the map that I've gone with here is anything but straightforward. Now, the other aim is, let's inject some life into this beast as we go. Let's make it look a little bit more lively, a little bit more flourishing as we get underway. Right, speaking of getting underway, shall we? Yes, I rather think we shall. Now, in order to fund the construction of a mainline or to do any of the kind of objective, project-y based stuff, I'm going to need some money. So to start with, it is going to be pretty much business as usual for generating a cash engine to fund ongoing projects. If I don't do that, well, we'll come to a grinding halt as quickly as we get anything going. So what I'm looking for initially, we've got food up here that might work. Let's have a look. Salem wants it, and Clearwater wants it, and there's a farm, and there's a field. That seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Now, given that I've chosen to go American only as far as vehicles are concerned, my range of choice is not huge. But at the same time, it should be sufficient to keep things interesting. This is more an infrastructure project than it is a means of demonstrating different vehicle types or anything along those lines. Food is not the best way to go. No, it just isn't. The best way to go is oil and fuel. So should I be looking for that? No, let's get this food run done, because we've got the full shebang set up in terms of potential clients. So what do we want here? Well, I mean, we're going to go with road to start off with. Road is what we're going to do, and I want a truck stop. We'll replace all of this with trains later on. In fact, I might replace it with trains quite quickly. It really depends how much money we end up making. Now, obviously, the offset cost for trucks needs to be taken into consideration. Also, I'm going to need to build a bit of road out to hit Salem. Now that should give an additional bump up to Las Vegas here, because that will buy it a second town connection. In fact, if we talk to Clearwater as well, which we surely will, then that will also bump up the likelihood of good things happening. I don't really want to invest in too much road to start with, though, because that's not cheap. Well, yeah, tell you what, it makes a change to actually be going like, don't spend too much too quickly, or you will be sorry. Right, okay, so Clearwater needs some, and, well, it's this bit, isn't it? Isn't it this bit? It is this bit. That is truck stop, isn't it? Yeah. Right, truck unload stop. Just bung it in there. That'll cover Clearwater. That is Clearwater. Clearwater, yeah, obviously, don't know any of the names of the places just yet. And then, do we want to hit Salem as well? Yes, we do. Oh, it's a long way. So what? It doesn't matter that it's a long way. I mean, you either do want to supply it or you don't. And also, that's a tricky bit of road. You might be better off running out this way rather than going that way. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, this is a few 100,000 that this bit of road is going to cost. So getting that paid back quickly is not something that is particularly likely to happen. Right. Give me some, well, medium, I think will probably make sense. Give me a price check on this. Okay, so that's 116 million quid. Really? That seems quite high. Oh, well, okay, my original budget of 300,000 seems to have gone by the wayside pretty much immediately. Yeah, okay. All right, hadn't really planned for that. Well, in which case, what if one were to hammer it through this hillside? That's $1.5 million to you, Gov. Oh, yeah, that's good. What if one were to go along the side of the hill here? I mean, we'll go crowflies to start with, but I think we'll do it cheaper by some kind of winding round. So that's 370, 1.6. Yeah, it'll be cheaper than that. Yeah, okay, that could work, and it'll actually look quite pleasing to the eye, one would assume as well. I mean, I'm still not sold on this being a particularly good idea, but we'll go for it anyway. Right, okay, so if you go, ooh, 50 grand. Now, I should be turning the contour. You know what? Let's make a first of it. Let's turn the contours on. Oh, that's new. Okay, all right, yeah, that's all right. And we'll follow this line around. Yeah, so what's that taking me to? That's 100k so far. Now, we know that the As Crow Flies route was coming in at around 300, 400 grand in total. That's 150. It's 200. All right, I guess my sneak it along the side of the mountain approach is going to work out to be a slightly more expensive. Oh, whatever. You spend it while you've got it, or you don't got it at all. Something like that. Right, okay, and then hook onto here. 176. I think if we go a little bit further this way, we can do it cheaper. Yep, okay, so that was 50. That's now 164. Ha 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 ha, yeah. All right, oh no, we can go cheaper still. Wait for it. There we go. Right, that'll do nicely. Good, turn off the green, please. No, hold on, no, you have got another bit to do, but you can do that yourself in a moment. Now, I'm not going to upgrade these dirt tracks, at least not just yet. We'll see what sort of cash we've got left over after I get this running, because we are going to need to get it running. So if I hook you up onto there, 500,000 quid, Gov. Yeah, I'm not feeling 500,000 quid. I'm feeling, 200k. All right, well, that was 20. That's another 375. Okay, well, that's 20. That takes us to 70. Now, surely you're not going to charge me that much. So there you go. 130-ish in total. All right, smashing. Right, that works. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm getting kind of carried away here about what is effectively just some truck route. But, all right. Yeah, well, okay, we got stuff set up. So what does that give us? Right, well, you've got 2 farms and a third if we want it that can deliver out to there. So we'll get that switched on first. and then one delivery out this way, which will pay quite nicely going one way, will do absolutely nothing for us coming the other direction. Unless we pick up food and do a stop in Salem on the way back. That could work. I mean, what that buys me basically is that this leg of this part of the journey here is never empty. So that should be full all the time. I am actually going to pay for a bypass here, not a big one. No. Something along those lines. Okay, I mean that's another 200 grand. I mean that's another 2 trucks worth. Yeah, really? It's only a tiny little piece of road that I'm building. Well, yeah, but you've got this crusade through the landscape that you've got going on. There you go. I've got it a bit cheaper. All right, we'll take that. All right, okay. Well, it is what it is. Yes. All right, are we going with this? I think we are. Who built this flipping undulating madness of a map? You did. I did, didn't I? Right, okay, and actually this makes a good place to stick the depot, although it's probably a bad place to put the depot because a bit of flattening needs to occur. Let's have a look and see how much it wants to charge me. 30 grand, well, that's all right, that's worth it. Right, okay, cool. So we'll set up our first couple of routes. Line, please. Right. And we shall go 1, yeah, 2, yeah, 3. Okay, all right, okay. And that's a long old route for a truck. For a train, less so. But you see, the thing with trains is I would have to be taking both hoppers and goods cars in order to make it work. And that's not a dog that will hunt. Whereas with a truck, you can take a truck that will do both. You see, and that's the more astute thing to do. Now, there is unspeakably a heck of a lot more money to be made from doing this with trains. But for now, we'll keep it low down. Now then, let's start our naming convention the right way, shall we? So this is going to be right. Well, this is a food, right? Because we want to group by food, or do we want to group by location? Because obviously these. All of the line lists that you have, yeah, I think we're going to go Las V, right? Yeah, we will group by location this time round and not by function. Oh, double slashes, very nice. Food delivery. Oh, hang on, and then we'll call this East and that West. All right, okay. So food delivery. No, hold on. Food. Las V. Yes. Food. Production. Yeah. East. Okay, cool. Because that would then make this. That's not Las V anymore, is it? No, it's not. No, and it doesn't actually deliver. That's Las Vegas. Yeah, but you're going by locale, right? So Las Vegas is kind of the central town. In fact, if you were to think of this as the Las Vegas Food Network, does it matter that Las Vegas itself doesn't get any food? Well, I think semantically it possibly does. I'm going to debate this for a moment because getting this right at this stage is actually an important thing. It's not that important. Okay, right. Okay, same thing on this one. We shall go from here. Yes. Out to there. Yes. Over here. Ah, delightful. Right, good. Now, that's a quicker route, that one. But we're going to call this Las V again, despite the fact it's going to Clearwater. Food, production, west. Now, some of you will go, oh yeah, but there's a lot further west to go. I say, yeah, but you see, by the time you get over this side, you're talking a different district. So effectively, I'm saying that this district here is the Las Vegas district and it incorporates several towns. Quiet, I know what I'm doing. Okay, right, now then, I've got 3.7 million left in the bank. Do I actually need to set up any other routes? No, I don't, unless I decide to bring this one into play as well, which I probably don't just yet. Okay, all right, okay. So let's buy some vehicles. That's a sensible thing to do. Right, here's the selection we have. Actually, it's a goodly amount. I'm pretty sure I told it to go US vehicles only. But we've got Opals here. We've got the Benz as well. I don't think it's ruling out international vehicles at this point. Let's look at passengers. Yeah, you've got the Schneider and the twin coach and the Mack. Okay, well, I know maybe it's fine. Right, so the tarpaulin truck is the one that takes absolutely everything. It does 60 kilometers an hour, and the competition for this one will be the Opel Blitz, which, okay, 74 kilo, 36 grand a year versus 42 grand a year, 80 kilowatts, so more suited to a bit of up and down action versus 74. There's really nothing in it. Oh, hold on, it carries 2 extra cargo. Let's do that. Right, how many do you want to send on this route? Well, I think realistically, probably about 20. But we'll start with, what's 10 going to set me back? 2.5 million. That's not a small amount of money. No. So I suppose we'll go 8. Yeah. Right, okay. Right, Las Vegas, food production east, please. Right. Now, on this side, I think we go with 6. Now, this is going to pretty much wipe me out already. But hey, that's early game for you. By the time you've spent on some infrastructure, you know all your cash has departed the building. Right, go west. That's left me with 174,000. Is that enough for another truck? Because if it is, I'll buy one. I don't think it is, you know. Tarpaulin truck. No, it's 253 grand to you, Gov. Okay, well, that's. I guess that's the show then. Now, I could run up my loan more, but I want to see that this actually works before. Well, hold on, it's already started producing. This is a very good sign. I also want to see what the speed limit on these roads is. So if we give this chap a minute or two to get up to speed. In fact, let's get on board, shall we? And then you can actually get a feel for just how Spartan this whole area is. Quite Spartan. Right, we're doing 40. So I also want to upgrade these dirt roads. Now, I don't want to upgrade these dirt roads in the slightest, but I think upgrading the dirt roads is probably a sensible manoeuvre. Because it will it'll shave a third off the time on this bit of the route. Yeah. Yes. And given that you're not running the 20 vehicles that you'd like to, that's probably a good thing. Well, we wanted something different for this series, and you can't get much more different than this. It is pretty desolate. Now, I'm going to probably try and spin some kind of narrative as time goes on, that, we're rehydrating the surface or some sort. You've got cattle there, look. Right, so we got on this bit of road. Instantly picks up speed. That's good. Go to this. Yeah, that's it. Don't head all the way out to town. That does us no favours at this stage. Right, let's see if we can get a full load. Now, in terms of epic scenery, I think the epic scenery that we will be looking for will be in the nature of the trains that we end up deploying, because this is going to be very suited to many tens, nay dozens of wagons attached to. There's not a lot of difference between tens and dozens there, sunshine. Quiet. I'm narrating. There's a car. It's going to lend itself towards some trains that are pretty flipping big. So the interchange stations on the main line should expect to be receiving lots of small deliveries, and my hope is that they're going to be of a size suitable that I can use kind of shunting services to make that happen, which will be grand. And then they'll hook up with some, pretty epic length freight trains that carry everything. I'm not going to run a specialist service this time around. We'll run a bit of everything, because of how the industrial system works in this game. On the previous, on Transport Fever 1, it made sense to have designated trains because, you might not be carrying oil for a minute or two. But since every single producer will be switched on from the get-go, there's money to be made here. But it's nice to see some civilian traffic already, and I suspect quite strongly that will have some traffic problems before you know it. I'm looking forward to traffic problems because then I'll get to fix them. That'll be a delight, and I really should upgrade this road. Yeah, so along the way we will work on having roads that are not egregiously bendy. We won't tolerate roads that are completely hideous this time around. A certain amount of hideosity will be permitted in the first instance because we haven't got any cash, but later on we'll be far more diligent with regard to not doing anything of a particularly ugly nature. Right, now, we should be here at a kind of time where we should see our partner trucks there. Hang on, isn't that my van? No, it's not. No, it's a car. Okay, I was going to say that looked like my farming van. Right, we're going to see how much this makes, and then we'll be able to get some kind of a feel for how long it's going to take us to get anywhere. Anyway, the aim of this series is I will move forward by 1 year every episode, I should say. Move forward by 1 year every year. Golf clap for you there, linguistic genius. We'll move forward a year per episode to broaden things out, and then we'll stop between 1970 and 1975, because I don't want to go any further than that. We will not be electrifying anything. No electrification is permitted on Arrakis, as you know, because the Fremen have very staticky hair, and as a result, reasons. Right, okay, now let's hop off and follow along. Let's see what this makes. Right, we're down 17 grand. You've got, we're looking at 9 of 14, so that's, what, 2/3. Please make this a fairly sizable amount of money. At least wipe that out and turn blue with, I'd say, another 30, 40 grand would be nice. I don't think we'll get it, but it'd be nice, which is why I mention it. Here we go, and 18. Alright, so that will be about 25. That'll be some money. Okay, good. Alright, now, you are dropping off nothing and getting a loaf of bread. This is going to take some time to bed in, clearly. And, of course, during that time, we're just going to be piling up running costs. Well, there you go. That's going to wrap it up for this first episode. I leave you with this desert convoy doing its thing. Subscribe to make sure you keep up with the series, and be sure to hit the like button if you're enthusiastic for what disasters may occur next. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch up with you next time. Thanks for watching. Cheerio. Let's talk for a moment about the last time I did a mainline of some kind. Now, firstly, I invested very heavily using pork barrels to get the thing running in the first place. Not going to do that this time. Definitely not. All money is going to be earned, which is why I've set up this kind of cheeky truck route to get us started there. I'll probably do another one with the next episode, maybe go a little bit further than that, but we'll see how we go. Now, that's part one, right? Is get enough money coming in so that we can actually start to build the thing. The challenge then is going to be either running passenger services up and down it, and they don't have to be entirely linear. They don't have to go straight up and down the line. They can wiggle off here and there to actually connect to towns and so forth. As long as the money keeps coming in, I can keep expanding, and then we can start to bring goods onto the main line itself and start to ship them up and down the line. Now, that should make some money. And the problem with the mainline approach last time around was that a lot of the time it just didn't make money. I was reliant on my passenger services to generate any kind of cash whatsoever. Now, I'm not going to be running a loop this time. Oh, or am I? See, because we could go up one side of the canyon, turn round and come back down the other side. My head being the canyon in this particular scenario there. Anyway, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know how long we'll keep with it. Hopefully we'll get it all done. But the only way you're going to find that out is by blah, 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 subscribe, blah, 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 hit the like button, blah, 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 blah. See you next time.